And then really it was from there, like, okay, now how do we get this out? And we lucked into our first big stage show was DuQuoin State Fair last year. Cool. We played a couple other benefits and Just Add Water and a couple of. We try not to play as many bars. If we're going to play a bar, we want it to be a performance venue where people are expecting to come and see a show. Mm-hmm. And not every bar tavern around here is geared that way. They have kind of a range of different styles, and some bands hit, some bands don't, and so we wanted to take a little bit, and there's a price to pay for that. We don't play nearly as much as other bands that will play almost anywhere, but we set our sights on DuQuoin. We got DuQuoin. We set our sights on Heron Fest. That came through Old King Cole Festival. Next thing you know, we're just stretching out on these big stages, and crowds are responding, and it's working. Yeah. And now we're like, okay, now what? And the next logical thing was along the way we've been writing these songs. Some of them are songs that Edwin had already pretty much written and developed. The sound is one of those. I mean, the sound came in as a package that Edwin already had, and we were all just trying to figure out how to bring the best out of it, but we weren't really writing. But then there were some that we actually wound up kind of collaboratively writing, which is a new experience for me. I'd never written lyrics to a song. I had never conceived of a song, and now we've got I would say 1.5 of those. But other things like Clint is now bringing in riffs, and Andy is bringing in like these incredible guitar structures. And now we're in the original music that we're starting to record and release, you're starting to see a collective personality of the band develop with that. And that is interesting. I mean, you're an artist. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Imagine you just hand paintbrushes to 5 different guys and it's like, here, create art. Mm-hmm. And you're like, what's that going to look like, No,
it's got to be tough. You got to have the practice and everything. Yeah, and it takes time to build that team around you, a band bigger than yourself. Have there been any, when you guys have been out playing live at these shows you've been talking about, John, any moments that stand out to you as like a fan favorite?
I got to say, I don't know if you feel the same, but when we've been road testing all of the originals, like if we're doing a 2-hour show, we're putting all 7 of our current originals in there. And the reaction still seems to be as good to that as
nice. It's kind of it's really cool to see. Like,
that's great.
We've been how much? Well, we got some music coming out. There's one that we're starting our show with. Actually, we're starting our show with an original tune right now.
Cool.
And it's that song's an excuse to play guitar for sure.
For sure.
It is just very much like Clint and Andy. Just showing off. Yep, 100%. Right away, we're going to go right into Clint and Andy showing off.
With some amazing guitar solos, too, coming out on some of these songs I've been hearing.
Yep.
Yeah, so that song is called Burnin' Daylight. That's usually our set opener. And it was one of those things where in rehearsal, we were playing around with these riffs, and then like this just kind of heavy groove came out of it. I had penned some just ridiculous lyrics, and I was really channeling the 1980s Sammy Hagar kind of like, just girls and cars and going fast and stuff like that. And I didn't know that we could do anything with it, but it kind of lined up, like the lyrics sort of fit this. And I don't know if Edwin felt ridiculous singing that in the studio, but you can be honest.
It got like in the first iteration of the lyrics, I was like, this needs something else. There's got to be something else. There's got to be something else.
This is what you get when drummers write songs.
Yeah. This is why Ringo is not the number 1 Beatle on songwriting.
Octopus's Garden is a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's
pretty good. Yellow Submarine. Yeah,
it's definitely like it definitely needed some work, and we got it there. But it's not about that one's not about me. That's the way I look at it. I'm like along for the ride in that song. That one's not about the vocals. That's about the guitars in my brain at least. It's like I'm going to try to help out.
It's a rocker.
Yeah, I'm going to try to help out with this, like to make it interesting and give it the complete effect the best that I can. But it's it's definitely mostly about the guitars, that one, which is good. Like I like having like a real heavy guitar driven song. It's perfect for who we are, I think.
No doubt. And I do want to save some of this for when these next ones come out and focus back on the sound, because if you were listening to this, the beginning of this, the sound is the debut single of the band, right? So let's stick to the sound here. Okay. And what's the story behind the sound? And what inspired that?
Yeah, Edwin.
Yeah.
And how did it change from that first idea to what's actually now adding the band? What have they brought? What are the drums do to the song as well? That beat that just gets people moving. So can you guys let's dive into it a little bit?
For sure. Yeah. I think that this what the song is about is up to interpretation.
Sure.
For sure. But
I really like the lyrics of this because it takes me on the journey there. I can picture what you're going through and like what the story is. So I like it.
Well,
it's open to interpretation too. Yeah.
It's a love song.
It's definitely a love song. It definitely is. It's like it's a real real love song. It is. But I wrote that. I was just sitting at home and I didn't have the lyrics at first. I just had the chorus. The ooh. That's all I really had. Was the ooze, and that all happened because I was. It's very similar to. It's similar to a few different songs, but it's definitely like, it's its own thing. But I was just playing with this chord progression, this E major 7 to F minor 7 thing, and I was just kind of playing around, and I was at home, and I wrote the first verse in like a few minutes. And then I had the woo-woo thing, and then I was like, well, I need some more verses. So I ended up with, like, in 2 days, I finished the song, and it took me a while to bring it to the guys at Backline, because I was like, I don't know if this is necessarily going to be something they want to do. Yeah. But I was so in love with the song that I did anyway. And it drove John crazy at first.
It did.
I was going to say, John, I want to hear when he brings this song.
Yeah.
So what is...
Yeah. So I had an idea of what I wanted to play, but it wasn't working. And Edwin was kind of like, well, kind of strip it down a little bit more and then just like groove it. But it's at like this ridiculous 155 BPM.
Yeah.
And so while we were rehearsing it and kind of in pre-production, he kept like, it needs to be faster. It needs to be faster. And I'm like, are you insane? Like, how can I make this groove? And then the secret, and my drummer friends out there will know this, I just had to learn to relax in it. And then the speed became kind of not as much of an issue. But then when we get to the bridge part, Edwin's like, cut loose with some drum fills here.
Yeah.
And I'm already at 150 playing. And I was like, how do I get in and out of that? Yeah. And that was kind of the challenge of like, can I play something interesting that doesn't take away from the song? It's not about a drum solo here. It's just about punctuating the bridge and then setting it up so that we go right back into the woo stuff. And I think we eventually got it. In fact, I asked when we came in the studio, can we do this one first?
Yeah.
Because I was sweating. Like if
you didn't want to be doing that one after you were already tired. Yeah, you wanted to be that one.
And I didn't want to be like 20 take Johnny on that. Like, you know.
No, I remember when we recorded that here, right when you guys got here, locked in, knocked it out real quick, and it was grooving, man. Yeah, it's a groove.
I think we only did like a couple takes for that first day. Yeah, that was funny though, because I was like, there were so many rehearsals. Where I was like, yeah, it's just not fast enough. We're not doing it. It's not where it needs to be. Because there's particularly in the third verse, there's this one melody line that if it's slow, it just doesn't sound like what I want it to sound like, basically. So there's that because it goes from low to high. It's a run upwards.
I like
it's
that.
Like, I've never seen anyone. Yeah. It's just like it's if you slow that down, it gets kind of tilted and it just doesn't sound quite right. And so it took a forever for us to get that to the point where it was like, okay, this is where we need to have it.
Yeah, that was woodshedding for me, and I don't do a whole lot of that, but I set up a drum kit in my office at home and was just set on anywhere from 155 to 158 BPM, and I was just like playing it and playing it and playing it until I finally kind of relaxed into it, and I could do it without, because sometimes coming out of that solo or out of the bridge, that's when it would naturally kind of, drop in tempo, but that's when it needed to be there the most. So, I mean, eventually I just kind of pushed through it, but I like how it came out. I mean, the whole thing I think is snappy, it's poppy, it's very catchy, very memorable.
Yeah.
This is how I know that we had something cool. My granddaughters are age 5 and 3.
Okay.
And so my daughter has a drive to school playlist. And when it came out, the first day on that Friday, she put it on the playlist, but the girls hadn't heard it. They went to school and they climbed into the car. She had it queued up in the stereo. And my daughter Hannah was like, "What's this?" Or my granddaughter Hannah, and she's like, she just without asking pushed play on the thing. And so it comes into this, and they're like, we like this song. And Abby said they were just singing along to it and bopping. And then she explained, well, that's your grandpa's band. Like that was just, when you get the approval unsolicited from a 3 and 5 year old, you've got something.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome. Yeah. Any reactions, Edwin, to the single so far? What's the reaction been on your side?
You know what I've gotten over and over again is like how much of a summer tune it is.
Yeah.
And that wasn't what I thought it was gonna. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't a planned thing. It just so happened that we got everything to work out to where it came out in June.
Yeah.
But it was so many people have told me like, oh, it's just such like a summer bop.
It is.
And I was like, you know what? It is. That's cool. That's I never would have thought.
Yeah.
Like when I was writing the song, especially because it definitely didn't start that fast. But as I finished writing it, I was like, this has to be like an upbeat little like fun, like bumping little tune. Yeah. And so because of that, it became very summery, which is not something that I thought was going to be the case.
Yeah.
It's been cool. It wasn't something I had thought of until I got the feedback for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, from friends and family and that kind of thing.
Cool. So, I've been calling it the song of the summer here at Union Street Arts, anyways, and. I think it is. I think, put it on those summer playlists, hanging out by the grill, by the pool, outside, with family and friends, perfect for 4th of July, hangouts, campgrounds, all of it.
It's a great driving tune. I mean, it's one of those that you'll be speeding before you really know that you're...
Yeah, definitely. Might have to be something to do with those BPMs.
It could be.
But yeah, it definitely is. It's a fun little hopping tune. I really like it. I really do.
Yeah, I do too. And I've been listening to the radio a lot. I'm like, this sounds like it needs to be on the radio.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
I mean, it sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah, that would. That'd be fine.
No argument from us.
No argument.
Yeah, that would be cool. So we'll see. Maybe you could tell somebody, send it to them.